Let's talk about karma and magic. So I hear or read people saying a lot of things about karma. Karma's gonna get you, or that's bad karma, or when something bad happens to somebody, it's like, oh, it must have been their karma. A whole lot of language that is externally focused, when karma, as far as how people use it in that way, should be a completely internal conversation and process. It should be a tool through which you analyze yourself and your actions, not the actions of others. Usually when we say, karma is going to get you, or karma got this person, or haha, bad karma, something like that, we're engaging with karma so much that it almost by necessity will bring about some kind of reaction through the same process to what we just said about karma. The way that people use it now, karma just means action. It doesn't actually have the same meaning in the way that we usually use it in the West. It does, but it's more complicated. Karma means action. It is a response. It is not some external force that has a tally sheet. What it is it can be a perspective as far as the way people use it. And it should be an internal conversation with ourselves about, okay, I need to revise this action because I saw this result. I did this and this happened. Or I behaved in this fashion. What do I need to improve in order for the reaction that I saw in the external world or to myself not to happen again? Our relationship to karma should be an internal conversation, not external, not looking at other people and being haha bad karma, or hoping that something bad happens to somebody. That kind of relationship or engagement with karma is almost always negative in a very minor way, but even minor ways build up and will cause our soul to want to go through something where somebody's laughing at us. Now magic. Let's talk about magic and the curses, baneful magic, and just magic in general. So when I see people doing spells, or even with a lot of spells that I've done, we'll just start with spells. So much of it is just an internal psychodrama. And when I say psycho, I don't mean psychopathy. I mean psychological drama. And if we really counted up all the spells that didn't work, what would be the ratio? I've done a lot of spells, but yeah, and you'll have a lot of people saying, we'll hope for the best, or look for a spell having had worked, or eventually when something similar to what the spell was trying to achieve happens, they might chalk it up to the spell working. But so much of it is just an external way of tending our internal energy garden and mental landscape. So much of it is planting seeds that will become actions. Now, magic does exist. Spells can work. Curses can work. But so much of it is not effective externally. It's only planting seeds that are internal. So much of it. I'm not going to give a percentage, but I would say that most spells that I see, it's like, I don't think it's going to work. I could be wrong. But it is definitely doing something within them. It is really hard to change somebody else's will, for instance, like a love spell or something like that. They almost never work, unless you're really good. Baneful magic, curses. When you're cursing somebody, you're making their existence and their whatever they did and their presence mean more to you within yourself. When you're cursing somebody, it is making them more instrumental for you inside yourself. It actually does kind of the opposite of what most people think. I'm not going to say all curses, but most curses, it's making that person so significant in your internal psychodrama that you might end up doing something in the external world by planting these seeds that are curses, that are you know, most of them are just elements of the psychodrama that you're working out within yourself. And you know, a lot of people who curse people end up doing something to that person, or talking crap about them online, or something that causes a minor reaction in the external world, and then they can say, haha, my curse worked. So much of cursing is planting those internal seeds, and it's not actually working. Now, there are ways, you know, there are ways to do spells, and there are ways to do curses to make them work. I just don't see a lot of people really knowing how to do it. But the spells that they are doing are having an impact within themselves. And honestly, if you're gonna curse somebody, I would honestly just not make that person a part of your life, and you can warn people about them if you want, and just move on. And if police charges need to be pressed, then that's understandable. But if you're just pissed off at somebody and you're cursing them, or you're cursing somebody because somebody else hired you to curse someone, you're just making it that person more instrumental within yourself and that person that hired you. You're making it more instrumental in them by you two cooperating on some kind of curse, or them hiring you to do a curse, something like that. Some work. Some people know how to curse. Some people know how to do spells. And most spells aren't curses. I'm not saying they're the same thing. But they do engage within our internal psychological drama, and plant seeds. And these seeds, it's almost like with a lot of magic, you're directly engaging with karma. You want something external to happen, but it's part of your internal language and your internal reorganizing things. And honestly, it's very similar to how people think about karma. They're engaging with karma and magic. They're so interlinked, but it's difficult to explain. But I hope that y'all are kind of getting the idea. But there's so much power within ourselves, and there's so many seeds that we regularly plant, and we have to be careful what we plant, how we plant it. If you want to do spells, then I mean, all spells energetically work at least a tiny bit, but mostly what people are doing is reorganizing and affecting their internal energetic environment and mind thought organization, which can be powerful. But people think that things are so external when so much of it is internal, and that's where a lot of people are lost. They don't know how to work with their internal energy and their thoughts, and meditation is just out of the question because it's too hard. But you can become so powerful just through meditation. Is remarkable. Or understanding how these processes work, or working with energy within yourself, or reorganizing your thoughts. Magic is a useful tool a lot of the time to help you do that, but you know, you can work subtly. You don't have to work in an external way. But if the external helps, then sure. But yeah, I wouldn't rely on curses. I wouldn't actually do them. I would make that person, if I really hate somebody, I would make that person not matter to me. And if somebody else hates somebody and they want me to do a curse for them, I would counsel them to make that person not matter to them. And if they did something that warrants police action, then go ahead. But don't make somebody more important than they deserve to be within yourself. And yeah, just let me know your thoughts about magic and curses if you want, and and karma. But yeah, just it's good to be careful and not to think too much about karma in relation to other people, but in relation to ourselves, and revising our internal environment and thinking about how we can improve. That's the conversation with karma that more people should be having. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. Hit that thumbs up down there. It really helps out the channel. Feel free to leave a comment. That also helps out the channel, even if you just say hey. And feel free to share this wherever you like. At any rate, thank you very much for watching, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day.